Mustangs at Daytona crunch time. Today's the 14th. I'm going there on Friday and Saturday. This is the 24th and the 25th, but it's going to be from the 20th all week long. So I have to get this car ready for the drive over. Now, I took it on a little voyage the other day, see how it would do. It did pretty good, but I did run into some issues, and I think I found one of them. Is I had an intermittent where it just kind of die out, and then it would be fine, and then it would die out. The ground wire from the engine is it fell out. The end's still there where it was crimped, but I guess the crimp wasn't very good, and it came out. So I'm gonna put a new ground wire, and yeah, see if that helps some of it. But I'm gonna show y'all what I'm working with. So again, I feel like I gotta do a recap for new subscribers. This is my 90LX. It is powered on supercharged. These are non-intercooled units. It's about 7 psi. And I was recently sent out the Mr. Freeze 2 kit, which I now have mounted here. I've been trying to figure that out. And then I got my bracketry set up for the catch can. What I did is I drilled and riv nutted into this. I was very hesitant about that, and then I talked to some drag racers, and they say they have lights and stuff drilled into theirs, and there's no issues in wrecks, so I didn't want to weaken this in any way. I tell you what, I went through about 3 or 4 drill bits drilling through this. This is super thick, like tough stuff. Just kind of touched some of that up. And I closed the hood. Everything closes. That was another big issue that I was worried that I was going to have to deal with. But other than that, yeah, that's where we're at. So now I can still access the drain plug on the bottom. It's solid right here. Now I can run the wires, or the hoses. So that one goes to vacuum, which I already have a port free. And then I have to drill into the plastic over here and get that mounted where it sprays directly into the supercharger. I am going to start off with the smallest nozzle, and we'll go from there. Now, I didn't have time to get any stuff, so I found a homemade solution of distilled water and using heat. Heat is the little yellow bottle, a fuel additive. It is methanol. Methanol in a bottle. They're only $2.08. 5 of them bottles is half a gallon. So I can do, you're supposed to do it by weight, because methanol weighs less than water. So you're supposed to do it by weight, but this is not, I don't think this is half a gallon. It might be. Regardless, I'm going to do 5 heat, and then the water, it should come up to about, a 40-60 solution, which is, a lot of people run just windshield wiper fluid, which is only 30% methanol. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, it's probably not for you, but at the same time, yeah, the non-freeze, like the 20 below wiper fluid, the de-icing agent is just methanol. So water and methanol is pretty much all it is. Alright, so I got everything out of the way, got the wheel turned so I know nothing's in the way. Everything's mounted here. It is ran, goes up to the vacuum there, and then the line comes out. I have the smallest nozzle in. As you can see, it's plumbed in, and it's as close to inline as I can get it. So I'm going to fill that up, and it'll be ready to make some hits under boost with that on there and some data logging. See how that goes. But got that done. Got the ground done. It's down there now, and I brought it up to this common point. There's grounds there for the headlights and stuff. So, all in all, I am pretty stoked about the way this is turning out. I do have an issue over here. I don't know if I'm going to address it before the show or not. But this window I talked about previously, for the ride, it goes down like there's nothing, like it won't go down now. But when you lower it with the motor, you have to raise it back up by your hand. So I think the motor's going out. Don't know. But yeah. Wheels, tires look great. Everything looks good there. Do some touching up here and there. But yeah. We're on our way, people. Just to show you how the hood goes down, does go down. And then I don't know if you ain't gonna be able to see it, but there's a little bit of the hose right here, but that's the highest point of the hose. Yeah, right there, that white, that's the highest point, and it's not touching the hood. Like, I'm pushing down on the hood. So, back here is the catch can. It's got plenty of room for the filter, so all that kind of missed perfectly. So much like it was designed that way. Wish I could take credit for that. As mentioned, I'm using heat. This is methanol. That's what a lot of the DIY people do. I don't have access to anything right now. The Boost Juice the NX sells, they only sell it in a 4-pack, and the shipping is going to be past the show. Plus, it's going to be like $103 for shipping. I do get a discount through them, but of course, the waiting game still. I looked around. Closest one is like, I don't know, an hour and a half away from me if I drive and buy some VP Racing or something like that, some other brand. But I don't know how big this is. I thought it was maybe half a gallon. 5 of these, if I did the math right with the ounces, is half a gallon. That's 4. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but it's over 3/4. So I'm going to fill the rest up with distilled water, and that should be plenty. Now, I watched a video where a guy did some tests. If I could find it, I will definitely share it. But he did tests on corrosion and stuff like that, and he found that if you put, like, even like a capful of Marvel Mystery Oil in there, that it'll slow down the corrosion, because ethanol or methanol is corrosive. But it is something that takes years of time, but it helps. Also, you can put stuff like food coloring, because it's basically just water and dye, to add a tint to that so you can see where it is better. So I will, if we got some water coloring or some food dye, I'm going to put it in there. If not, I'll probably use maybe a capful of Marvel Mystery Oil if I have it, to give it some color. It'll be like a pinkish. Alright, well, I'll wait on the food coloring. I don't have Marvel Mystery Oil, which I always have on hand. And we don't have food coloring, which we never have anyway. So, look at that. That's pretty cool. It's like an overflow little thing right here. It's a check valve. So basically, if you don't know, the way this works is line is hooked to the vacuum. When the engine produces boost, the pressure is going to push this to push it out the nozzle and out the jet over here. So there's no motor that's got to kick on, no nothing. Now, Terminator X, when you're not in boost and not producing that, it'll run like a normal car. So, only time it kicks in is pretty much wide open throttle. That's it. So, I'm pretty stoked the way everything turned out. I got the lines ran where it's not too crazy. I mean, this right here I can't really do anything with, but I kind of limited on where I can mount it. I really wanted to mount it over here out of the way, but like I've showed several times, it don't work that way. I couldn't get it over here, so yeah. Oh, and let's see. Got the ground done, got that done. I might be going to go pick up something tonight for the car, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, pretty excited. I'm going to put some belt dressing on there. I am very against belt dressing unless it is pressed on. So pressed on has an additive that makes the belt stick, so the pulleys turn, it don't slip. The other companies that I've seen, they make the belt slick so it'll stop squealing because it just slips. Pressed on makes it stick. Like, you get on your fingers and it's tacky. So definitely putting pressed on belt dressing on here, maybe get a little bit more boost out of it. But that is it for now. I'll catch up with y'all in just a minute. Alright, that trim right here has been out for a while. I went ahead and replaced that, or put it back in, not replaced it. And then all this has been out since I did the tail lights. I just put all that back in. Make it look a little bit more gooder. So something else that I want to do is I installed the UPR rear coilover kit with the strange 10-way adjustable shocks and the Viking springs. So I didn't pay any attention until one day I was going through and I just seen UPR's video on it, and they recommend taking the bushing for the shock, cutting it in half, and sandwiching it in between the top hat and the thing, so you cut out on noise. I didn't do that. I didn't see that part. But what I did do is I ordered some industrial isolator bushings that are really thick, super tough rubber, and I'm going to mount it on both sides. Maybe in the front if there's a spot I can get it to, but that should cut out some of the clanking noise, I hope, because just about everything in this car is solid at this point. So these are the bushings I'm talking about, and I don't know if that hole's big enough. I might have to drill it out, but basically this will go through where the top hat is, and then the bottom of the car. This will go in between like a shock bushing, but it'll help. As you can tell, it's rubber, so it's not metal to metal. It should be a lot less clanking and stuff. So unfortunately, I didn't film a lot. I was just trying to get work done, and I've kind of lost track of the day. It took quite a while for me to get that bracket figured out. I thought I had it, and I drilled into the frame there and put a riv nut in there and got everything mounted. And I'm like, oh, I didn't turn the wheel. Turn the wheel all the way and realized it hits it, so I had to move it. But I'm like, okay, I can use this riv nut for mounting the catch can back in the same spot it was in. But I don't have to have the same setup. So I mounted that there and then moved over, drilled another spot, which, like I said, that frame is, I guess it's chromoly. I ate like 3 drill bits trying to drill through that. And the thing is, it's nothing to play with. But I got it drilled out, got another riv nut, got it moved over. Everything's supported. It's supported on the bottom and the top. It's solid. Got the solution in, which I think is going to be more, is probably going to be about 50-50 if you're doing weight. So, pretty stoked for that. I will eventually be able to order the stuff in and not have to worry about it. Also, the Napa here sells a 5-gallon bucket of methanol for like $50, I think they said. So that's a pretty good deal. It might be, actually I think it was $30. I think it's $30 for a 50-gallon or 5-gallon. Regardless, I can buy a 5-gallon bucket and I can make as much as I want with the distilled water and the methanol, and I can have stock for probably a year or so. I do want to add the dye so I can see the level. Got the interior put back together mostly. A few odd and end things I have to deal with. I am going to put them bushings in the rear I talked about. I'm not going to do that on camera. It's just one day I'm going to just hop on it and get it done. I might show you a little bit when I dive into it, but that's about it. But again, not super exciting, but this is the crunch time for Mustangs at Daytona, and I am under pressure as far as getting this done, and my work, and then I work crazy hours. Well, crazy to me. I work noon till 8 o'clock at night, so I really don't have much I can do in the morning if I want to sleep, and then when I get off it's already too dark, and I need, if I had better lighting out here, you know, I'd probably just dive on it after work, but I really don't have that great of lighting out here, so kind of in limbo of how to do things, but eventually I will get it figured out. But I think I'm moving in the right direction, and yeah, I know I'm saying "and" a lot, but I'm getting stoked for this. I really am. What do y'all think of the car, though? I think it's coming along great. I love the hood vents. I don't care. And now it's got the methanol injection on there. I got to do data logging, of course. I've talked about this in the previous thing. You're not just going to bolt it on and gain horsepower. You might notice on the smallest nozzle that you're not losing power in an area where you did, but you're not gaining anything, like, because it's not. I mean, Holly might add some timing. I don't know the whole parameters. I'm not a tuner, but yeah. So this is one of the bushings, by the way, how thick it is, that was on the shock on the rear. So obviously that other one is thinner, and it's also thicker, bigger diameter. Sorry, so it'll cover a bigger portion of the top hat. I can't say anything. Anyways, this is the Mod Addict. Thank y'all for watching. Sorry for rambling. Like I said, I get this way at the end of the video because I got so much going on. I don't want to leave anything out. There's been plenty of times I've been editing and be like, oh my god, I didn't say this, or oh my god, I left this out. Peep the classic LMR shirt. Yes, I love LMR. Hey, we're making progress. We're going to make it to the show. And DBP's going to be there. And Jake's going to be there. Andrew's there almost every year, Mustang Lifestyle. Big fan of him. I know Andrew personally. I've hung out with him. I've worked on cars with him. I've hung out with DBP before. Great guy. Never met Jake. I missed him somehow. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty stoked. So, crunch time. Thanks for watching. More to come. I'm out.
Turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that wouldn't be too smart. Shoot for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with the 60 bars. I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that wouldn't be too smart. Shoot for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with the 60 bars. I won't turn around, I won't turn around. No matter how far I go, I'll never come.